There are 5 basic ways to rebalance your meridians after you have found those imbalances through testing alarm points. The first step is to simply turn the alarm point off, turn the alarm off by stretching and twisting. That sets the field for the next 4. So the next are to flush the meridian, and the next is to massage the neurolymphatic points, then to hold the neurovascular points, and then to hold the acupressure points. A very quick overview: you do not have to do every one of them. You may find that one of these systems is enough and you feel stronger, or if somebody tests you, you will test strong. But depending on your own health at this particular time or your own particular vulnerabilities, you may need more than one system. But begin with these systems and go through until you find one that really strengthens your meridian pathway. I want to say that there are no absolutes in energy healing. By that I mean you are unique, and what may be really right for you might be different than something that perhaps I'm even teaching. So if your particular problem deals more with stress, you might want to begin with neurovasculars. If you feel your body is stuck, you may want to begin with neurolymphatics. If you feel that you just can't get your energy moving at all, you may want to flush your meridians. And if you feel that you are really in trouble, I would hold the acupressure points. To bring healing to a meridian, you can begin by turning off the meridian's alarm. Stretch and twist the skin directly over the alarm point. The only imbalance we found on alarm points was large intestine, so it's important for me now to turn the alarm off. And what I do is I go right to where the alarm point is, and I twist. It's a stretch and a twist. You just simply turn, you push in and you turn right on the alarm point. And what that does is it gets the energy moving. So we're going to test it again, all right? All right, and on the other side. Yes, so you just get the energy moving by stretching it and twisting it and turning the alarm off. To stretch and twist an alarm point, place the fingers of either hand on the alarm point as you inhale. Exhaling, press the alarm point with your thumb and 3 fingers and twist the skin about a 1/4 turn. You have already seen how to trace the meridians forward. To flush a meridian is to trace it backwards. Flushing a meridian backwashes its energy, so the pathway will be clear when you then move your hand forward in harmony with its natural flow. And flushing can sedate or energize, depending on whether the meridian was overcharged or undercharged. Flushing a meridian before you strengthen it clears it of energetic debris. Then you have more space for fresh energy to enter. Look to the meridian chart. You'll see that there is a natural direction that all the meridians flow. To flush a meridian, trace it backwards once and forward 3 times. For instance, on lung meridian, trace it backwards 1 time. Start at the end of the meridian and trace it backwards to the beginning, and then forward 3 times from the beginning to the end. That is flushing a meridian. To flush a meridian, begin by finding earlier on the tape or in the book Energy Medicine how to trace that meridian. Use the full sweep of either or both hands to trace the meridian in the opposite direction of its natural flow. As you pass your hands over the meridian pathway, inhale. You may want to imagine that your hand is a magnet pulling stagnant energies out of the meridian. Exhale and shake these energies off your hands. After flushing the meridian once, trace it in its normal direction, at least 3 times, slowly and deliberately. Massaging the neurolymphatic reflex points is part of the daily energy routine. It keeps your lymph flowing. Each meridian is associated with specific lymphatic points. And when you massage these points, you move toxins out of the meridian and you open the flow of energies. The alarm point energy test tells you which points need to be massaged. But you can also know because that lymphatic point will be tender. Massage any points that hurt. Now, when you tested the alarm points and found meridians that were out of balance, you needed to know a way to rebalance them, and I'm going to give you that. Find on the drawings the lymphatics that go with the meridian that was out of balance for you and massage those points. For instance, if it was lung meridian, you're going to want to now massage lung points. If it was stomach, you're going to want to massage the stomach points, and so forth and so on. You can track your own health patterns by paying attention to the points that are consistently tender. Then identify the meridians that go with those points. Your body will give you feedback from the tenderness it feels when you massage it, as well as from an increase in energies you'll have afterwards. Holding your neurovascular points can lift you out of stress. It can be a lifesaver when you are just about to lose it, are in overwhelm, or you're about to blow up at your kids or your spouse. You have already worked the neurovascular points above your eyes, on your forehead. By holding other neurovascular points, you can increase blood circulation and reduce stress in different parts of the body. Well, I will talk about neurovasculars. Last night we talked about these frontal points, these points that when you feel so stressed, and if you hold the points, it'll bring the blood back into the forebrain and just alleviate stress. Well, there are neurovascular points all over the head. That there's like a map on your head that if you follow it, you can feel real comfortable where those points are. Neurovasculars, again, are extremely important for stress, and there are different points for different meridians in the body. And I'm just going to show you, and if you want to take your own hands and just feel them on your head as I travel up over the head, okay? If I start right here, just where the head turns down here at the bottom, this is a kidney point. This is the first point, it's a kidney point. The next point is a triple warmer point. You just go up 1 inch at a time. And then where the head turns, this is a spleen point. Right here at the top of the head is lungs and heart, and it's actually quite a main point in the body, or on the head. And then you split your fingers here and it comes like a V right at the hairline, and that's for liver, liver meridian. If you bring your hands down to right on the forehead, they're the points that we talked about already, the neurovascular points for stress. And then you just drop come right here to between the eyes is for bladder. Then drop down here to the cheekbones. These are for all the neck muscles. And then you go straight up to the temples. This is for kidney. Drop back to the opening of the ear, and it's triple warmer. Go straight up the side, about an inch above the ears. It's a spleen point again. And then go straight up to the turn of the head. It's large intestine and small intestine. And then drop back right to the sides down here to where the head turns, and that's a circulation sex point. Now that will be on the diagram, but a wonderful way to work with those points is if you already know there's an organ or a part of your body that could use some nourishment of blood, some new energy flushing through, you can just hold those points. You just hold them gently. And if you feel particularly stressed, if you hold your frontal points and then put your other fingers, like I'm going to put some right here on these neurovasculars, or hold right here. You can mix them. You can hold these front points and any other point. You can hold the front and the back. If you hold the front points, it just makes everything work better. But I will tell you a secret. That if you get familiar with each one of those, and when you're sitting in a bathtub at night or really comfortable, even watching TV, you might choose just one set of points and hold them for 2 or 3 minutes. And you will start, it's like a cranial treatment you're giving yourself. You will begin to flush blood better through your own brain and through your own head, and it's like washing your skull. It's very, very good for your health. So we're going to use a different method of strengthening. Acupuncture points, which I just held on Becky, it connects energy pathways, so it makes the energy flow. Neurovasculars makes blood flow, okay? And that's what I'm going to I'm going to use the neurovascular technique on you. So I'm going to test her in the same way. You hold your arm real strong, okay, and don't let me pull out. Nice and weak. Okay. Hold real strong again. Okay, so I'm going to come here, and I'm going to place my fingers right above her ears like this. And if I wanted to, which would make it work even better, I'm going to hold these frontal points and those points on the side above her ears. And I'm just going to hold these until I can feel a real pulse beating of the blood. And that's what you feel. You feel the blood pumping through. And you can hold these on yourselves. Now, neurovasculars almost always have to do with stress. Okay? So if you're going through stress in your life, you may want to, it's neurovasculars you usually want to work with, all right? Now, we don't know how bad her stress is, so I'm going to stay with this until I can really feel some blood pulsing through. And everybody here would be able to feel this if you held somebody else's. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult when you're trying to feel your own. But if you held somebody else's, you'd be able to feel it. And if you held them long enough, you'd go, oh my God, there's so much movement going on, I can't believe it. Now I'm starting to feel that blood come up now. It's really pulsing on the side, which means that spleen meridian, I could test it now, I know it was strong, but the frontal points, they're not quite strong. One of the things she just did, which you will always notice, even if you can't quite feel it yet, that person will take a deep sigh. As the blood comes up, they will take a deep sigh. And she has sighed twice, real deep. Okay, now I want to hold your arm, and you hold it next to your body. Now pull it. So it gets the blood flowing. And if you're really stressed, you can lose, remember, up to 80% of the blood in your forebrain. That's a lot of blood to lose. So if you're wondering why you can't think your way through one of the messes you found yourself in, it's because you don't have all the blood there. You really don't have all your marbles. Okay? But if you hold your neurovascular points, you will get that blood back up into your forebrain. You're welcome. Showing you how to test for alarm points lets you know which meridians are out of balance already. If you know yourself to be stressed, my first choice would be to go to neurovasculars before the other systems. And in the alarm point test, you found which meridian was out of balance in your body. So you would look at the chart and see which neurovascular that matched that meridian. It will have the name of the meridian next to the neurovascular, and you would simply go to those points and hold them. Locate the neurovascular points associated with the meridian that tested weak or the one that governs an organ that is concerning you. Lightly hold the pads of your fingertips on these points for between 2 and 3 minutes. Using several fingers ensures that you will cover the right points. The darkened circle at the bottom of the head in the diagram is a neurolymphatic point you can massage to open the energy. You might massage this point before holding the neurovascular points. Your hands become like a jumper cable that draws energies to the meridian when you hold acupuncture strengthening points for 2 or 3 minutes. Last night, we were showing ways to strengthen meridians. And one of the ways is with acupressure points or acupuncture points. And sometimes you just need an added boost. Maybe you're working on a meridian, or you're trying to strengthen a force field in your own body, and it's not getting as strong as you want. And that's the time, I think, to go to acupressure points, because it's like you become a jumper cable to that person's body. Now, last night and today, I find that Becky's, well, I'll show you on this side. Hold your arm next to your body and don't let me pull out. Well, she's a little stronger. She was tapping those spleen points. Let me see this arm. One side of the body, now this is interesting. You can be lopsided. One side might be strong and the other side might be weak. And right now on this side of the body, spleen meridian, I can do one finger. Spleen meridian is very weak. Now on this side of the body, she's gotten stronger. So she's a little lopsided. So we're going to straighten her out. And you will see in the diagram of acupressure points squares that show the strengthening point and the sedating point for all of the meridians. And what I am doing right now is I am holding the strengthening points for spleen meridian on her body. And what I am doing right now is I am holding the strengthening points for spleen meridian on her body right now. And these points are shown in the diagram. I'm just on the inside of her foot, right beneath her big toe, and I'm right on a heart point on her hand. And I'm literally hooking up two pathways of energy so that the energy will connect. And you get real good at this, and you begin to feel, you know exactly when it connects. You go, whoa, there it went. And if you can't feel it, and many people, probably most people can't feel it when they first begin, and that's simply because you haven't been exposed to working with it, so those sensory awarenesses just aren't open to you yet. But eventually you do become very, very sensitive to these points. Now, I just felt that connect, so I knew that connected. And the second points, I'm going to take your shoe off, okay? The second points are on the inside and the outside of the big toe. And I'm just going to hold those points. And literally, these are two different meridians, spleen meridian and liver. And I'm going to hook those points up. And then I'm going to test you again. Now that hooked up much faster. And so I'm going to test you now on this arm. You hold. And she's very strong now. So you can hold those points on your own body. You can really train your body to move the energy and bring fresh new energy into your body. And if you have a vulnerability, like Becky has a slight vulnerability on spleen meridian, which usually means you're more vulnerable to foods or allergies. You're just more vulnerable. And so that's a really important and good one for you to strengthen and keep strong.
Thank you.
Okay. So find the square that corresponds with the meridian. The abbreviations followed by a number name the acupuncture point. SI5, for instance, is small intestine 5, or the 5th acupuncture point on the small intestine meridian. Lightly but firmly hold the pair of strengthening points labeled first for 2 to 3 minutes. Hold the pair of strengthening points labeled second for about 2 minutes.